DJ House Tank, Sandokan Special. Folks, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank you all for joining us again this evening. We're going to have fun here this afternoon, folks. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. We're going to have some real good time here tonight. And as we try to organize ourselves as usual, so that at least we will be presentable to you and to those of you that perhaps joining us this evening. And of course, now that you don't have anything else to do, but yet still you decide you want to stay with us, and we appreciate that. In the essence of showing an appreciation, folks, we have to do what we have to do to make sure that when you take your time to come to LIBERIA Public Radio, you enjoy the content, not just the constant content, but the presentation as well. And that's why usually, because like I said, I operate as one person here, Fonso over there, one person, Nathaniel, Manzera, we all, each of us, we all operate as an independent operator. However, we do our best to try to organize before we come on. Sometimes, you come from work, and then you put stuff on. You have to organize all of these stuff. The thing I'm going to be showing you here tonight, those are all things that we have to organize. You can't just snap your fingers. So sometimes it takes some time, and we appreciate your patience as well. And I just want to point that out. Yeah, like I don't hide anything. I tell you exactly what it is. So we will be discussing here tonight. Hopefully our analyst, Mr. Josh, will be with us here tonight as well. I think we have done some stuff to improve our presentation again, and hopefully Mr. Josh will come on here, and we will try to do our best to present to you something that you will love to watch. Anyway, let's go. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I am here this evening, and I can't see now because the glasses out of my face. I can't see nothing. Yeah, so I'm talking to you. Of course, you can hear me. I don't need to see for you to hear what I'm saying. So just bear with me here. Now the glasses come back. Okay. You are okay. I see you now. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Folks, we have fun together. We're going to be discussing some issue here tonight. Some of them we'll just touch on there, but we will tell you where we're going, which way we're leading. Again. Safety, folks, safety. Please, whatever you do, stay safe, because we all love you. It's Wednesday afternoon. Let us try again to meet tomorrow with Mr. Soul, Friday with me, and we just have conversation. We'll continue to do these kinds of stuff, and we want to also say thank you, Jesus Christ, for giving us the opportunity, for giving us the life we have, for giving us the opportunity to be able to come on these type of platform to discuss with our brothers and sisters, those who have the opportunity to join us and to discuss with them as well. We say, God, please, whatever it is, continue to bless us, and we pray that you will bless each and every one of us. Guide us in Jesus' name. My Jesus' name. Okay, safety. That's it. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. Let's go on. I'm a little bit late here, running late, of course. So let's go on to the President of the Republic of Liberia. You know I don't hide that. This is the President of the Republic of Liberia. Dr. Weir. And in fact, I'm going to be praising more and more too, because I just heard some wonderful news recently that tomorrow they're going to be having some sort of a dedication for the Robertsfield Highway to 4 lane. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be, and I'm not going to pull punches. Whether my brother work for public work or not, I don't care. If you don't do it right, you will hear my mouth. I'm not going to sit tight here, because that's a very, very important corridor because this is the gateway between Liberia and foreigners. When they come, this is the road they see first before they even see Monrovia. So it must be done, and it has to be done decently. Don't bring Chinese and just do all kind of Chinese work over there. I'm going to go into that, but not tonight. Not tonight. I'll deal with it. But anyway, that's Dr. Weir. Now let's go on to this. Especially this video is very important. Speaking about the role, Robertsfield. This is Dr. Weir walking on one of the major highway in Liberia. Don't tell me where. Don't ask me where. I don't know, but I know it's a major highway. I know it's because if you look behind there, in fact, one of the things I want you to look as the video is playing, look behind you will see trucks. Only major highway in Liberia carry trucks like that. You don't find trucks on some kind of a road going to some kind of farm road or something like that. So let's watch this video. This is a major highway. But look how bad situation. If it's raining, our brothers and sisters go nowhere. And even one in it, look, a few times ago, it was raining, and Robertsfield Highway got caught up. My goodness. And I've watched the video, watched those people doing some sort of a fix. I thought they were doing worse than fixing. I said so. Let's watch this.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. I don't need show the road, you must stay. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold.
There you have it. There you have it. That was Dr. Weir walking in the mud, a major highway in Liberia during the election. Now let's watch this other video here, Samson to Liberia, where Dr. Weir is now going to tell us that, look, folks, Liberians, I want to appreciate you. You don't have to be singing for me. It is my responsibility because I love what I'm doing, and I will love and I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do this road business. I don't have to paraphrase or anything. Let's listen to that.
This is the right thing to do. Our country, it doesn't matter how many homes you got there, if no roads to connect, it's not completed. So I am happy with my road projects. From the capital to the hinterland, I will continue with my road projects. Anyone that will come after me will find something else to do. But I think that Liberia, being the first African republic, also needs a road network. And this is what we're doing. You don't need to thank me, that's my responsibility. I need to thank you for making me to serve the country. This is the right thing to do. Our country.
There you have it. Dr. We are telling you, a nice person coming, they will find something else to do because I hope to finish most of these roles. I really, really like that part. However, you know, he can come out and say X, Y, and Z, which is okay because that's his job. He sets the policy, and there are people who are supposed to implement those policies, including proposed projects and what have you. However, the people who are supposed to carry out this work continue to fail. As a result, I'm very, very concerned. I'm very, very concerned with this new Rawafi highway that people are talking about. I hope they don't make it to be more than a death trap than what it is now. Because if you don't do it right, if you don't employ all of the safety issues, if you don't employ all of the safety aspect of a decent road, you're going to make it more difficult and more, because here's the thing, you're going to have a 4-lane highway, you said. It's going to be, there's not many curves on Rawafi Highway, so you're not going to put curves on there because that means you're going to realign the road, and you don't want to bring in new alignment. And therefore, you're going to follow I know very well, they're going to follow the same alignment. Nevertheless, they're going to split it, but they're going to follow the same alignment. And so, if you look at the alignment that is on there now, there's not many curves on the road. And therefore, I'm saying that if you open the road up, and even if you set speed limit, the people will speed more than, because that's what Liberians, that's what they do, they speed. So, and on a highway, you're not going to put a speed bump on there. So if you're going to set a road like that, then all of the safety aspects should be involved. And I will be digging into it more and more. I keep sending messages to the Minister of Public Works to come on my show. He doesn't want to do that. That's okay. I will continue to, because one thing I love about Liberia, they will always provide information for us. Because you have people that will do Facebook and will grab the video immediately, because we see when they do the Facebook, they're not just focusing on the president. They show that the president is doing work, and then they show the entire role. They show the entire project. By showing to them, they're thinking they're showing to the whole world that the president is working, which I know he is. However, it gave us the opportunity to dissect their video and with respect to the project and say, this is wrong and this is right. And this is what I'm going to be doing from time to time. I love it. However, I'm also concerned that if the public work ministry, because what I'm hearing, I spoke with an engineer today. He's in Liberia, working in Liberia, and I spoke with him. He's a good friend of mine. And I asked him, are you involved? He said, no. I said, who are all? He gave me a couple of names of the company, but I'm not ready to discuss that yet because I'm trying to see if I can bring him on here. The folks that are already being picked, the name that is already being run around in Monrovia, they are not Liberians. The designer, the foreigners, the construction company, foreigners in Liberia. And Liberian taxpayers are going to pay for these people to do these kinds of work. And these are things, but I'm not rushing myself. Folks, no. I'm not going to rush myself. Because after this election, the senatorial election, we will have people that are coming into the senatorial position that are also fulcrum with engineering knowledge. And so they will be part of the Senate process. And I hope, and I know, because this person that I know, he will not take a back seat, especially if he's elected. He's not appointed. He's not going to come and kowtow to anybody. And therefore, I truly believe that because he works here, he used to work here in the United States, professional engineer. He did a lot of work. And in fact, he spent almost 5 years, not almost 6, 7 years in Liberia, quite recently, working in Liberia as an engineer, designing. And I'm not going to say what area he was because then people are going to know who he is. I'm not going to talk about him right now. Okay? So once that individual is successful, and I'm sure the Senate will make reference, they will refer to him when it comes to engineering business because he's an engineer. There's nothing hiding, there's no hidden stuff about it. So then they're going to refer to him and he will be in charge. I hope by the time the Ralphie role start that he will be in control. Because if I hope that he will make sure the public work ministry will not build the Ralphie highway within 1 year time through rainy season. Ridiculous. I'm going to be on it, folks. I'm going to be on it. But that's not the subject matter tonight. Let me calm down. To calm myself down a little bit, why don't I do this, Samson, to calm myself down a little bit? Because I'm getting a little bit hyped right now. And in fact, why can't I not just be hyped? I heard on somebody's show yesterday, and the person was talking about me, liberal progressive. The liberal progressive, the man who allows people to express himself freely, the man who allows people to make mistakes and say, let's fix it and move on. That's a liberal way. I'm not a conservative. I'm not one of those that we all climb the ladder. As soon as I get up, then I pull the ladder. What a conservative would do. I don't do that. I climb. I leave the ladder for you to climb as well. Because why? I'm a liberal. My view is whatever that I get, the possibility of you getting it is the same. You fight hard just like me and you will get it. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to. A conservative, that's what they do. They will not let you succeed. They put roadblocks on the way and they call it a straight constitutionalist. They call themselves because for the root of the law said, the Constitution say, yeah, who wrote the Constitution? It's man. What words are in the Constitution? English language. And English language in definition, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 definitions for one word sometimes. So why is it that I, Samson, to the liberal progressive, will not use specific word to describe what I want to see in the Constitution? And that is the reason why we have lawyers to interpret. That is the reason why we have Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution. Because as a liberal, my view of the Constitution is broad. I have no I'm not a narrow-minded person that the conservative do. That's how they do. That's how they do. I'm here now. Well, why do you want to come here? It's not your time. You wait for please, conservative. Your fine place to sit down with your conservative idea. This is a liberal progressive. Folks, that's not even my subject matter here tonight. Let's go on. So I show you Dr. Weir. Now, I show you Dr. Weir asking folks not to praise him. Okay? Now, let's watch Dr. Weir when he comes out. Yeah, it's the reason for my excitement about the Rowersfield highway that is being proposed. If what I'm going to be showing you here, if this is an indication of people managing affair of Liberian road construction, then we're in trouble. Because first of all, the Chinese are going to be building it. They don't even speak good English. So there's going to be a communication problem anyway. Second, the design. Who's designing? I'm pressing on that. Who's designing? Who's designing? And what type of design they're giving you? How long this process? Because to design a road from I call it EW Junction to Rowersfield, to design that, it's not just something you put on paper. Let me just give you a few things that you need to think about. First of all, the alignment. The existing profile of that road, it do like it just seesaw. It goes zoo baga zoo baga. You know, go up and down. That's the alignment. They're gonna have to fix that. They're gonna have to lower the profile in some places and raise the profile in other places. Now, the interesting thing is, if you lower the profile in an area, for example, there's a hillside, folks. I'm way out of my show right now, but I have to do this. I have to prepare you for the next show when these people start opening this thing. Okay, Mr. George is about ready. Mr. George, are you there with me? Okay, folks, Samson told you. All right, Mr. George, let me take a commercial and I will come and fix you up right away, okay? All right. So before I take the commercial and go to my analyst here, who's going to be joining me here, he and I are going to go out here tonight too. I mean, I'm not taking prisoner tonight, folks. But anyway, so let me just show you now. These are people that the president is depending on to do a major highway project. This is not adding to road between two houses. No, this is a major highway. So in order for them to do that, first of all, they're going to attack the profile and provide some real good standard, AASHTO standard of what they call super elevation must be provided. And those are documents that I will seek and try to review. And of course, who cares when you review it? Well, that's okay. As long as I review it, if I see the mistake, when I'm driving on that road, I see the place where I know the super elevation is not correct, I'll take my time. I'm coming to put my trust in people and put my life in danger because I know where I know they have no safety. Super elevation, stuff like that. Guardrail to protect the people from falling outside. What is a clear recovery? Those are the very important part of a roadway. You must provide clear recovery zone as the people driving. What is a clear recovery zone, you say? When you're driving, setting from the edge of the pavement to the hinge point. What is a hinge point? This is the road where the slope starts. That's the hinge. You know when you open the door, the hinge? Okay, they call it hinge point. Okay, so that space, AASHTO call for certain distance. Oh, folks, these people, they will run away from me. Public Works Ministry, I don't care if my brother working there, they will run away from me unless they follow AASHTO standard. To put a major highway in Liberia, you have to follow. Don't give me the Ghanaians kid stuff that they can be sending me here, where they take the whole road and hang it up. No side slope. Don't give me that. Don't give me the Ghanaians design stuff that come out with no shoulder for people to park their car in case of an emergency. Don't give me that. This is a major highway. And what are you going to do in the medium? Because you're saying you're going to have 4 lanes, 2 going, 2 coming. So what happened in the medium? Of course, they're not going to be connected, because if they're connected, you can have 4 lanes connected, but it's not going to be something you think you call highway. Okay? So how are you going to divide it? By barrier, concrete barrier? Or what are you going to put in the middle? Okay? What are you going to do? I'm going to be on these things, and I'm going to be showing Liberians here. This is the time. If I see once it start, you will say, yeah, that man a real engineer for true. But I will be showing you guys things that you need to watch for. Things that you need to watch for. I will bring out the AASHTO design menu, the roadside safety stuff. All of my point that I'm going to be making, we're all going to be safety. Samson told me, let's watch and see how much interest, how much confidence we're going to put in these people talking about highway from some kind of place to some kind of place, and they're not quite ready. Look at the kind of way they build Dole community, that the kind of people that come pull highway down, and you want me to be quiet? I beg you, man. Let's go ahead and watch this. Watch this. They have a contract. They build a road, and out of a sudden, 75% of the project is almost done. Out of a sudden, they realize there's a utility pole, light pole in the middle of your construction. Why haven't they identified those kinds of utility conflict before? And those are the people that are going to be building highway. And you want me to be quiet? I will push them so much. They're going to do these things, because if not, I will continue to make a show. I will continue to make, and those who want to watch will watch. And those who want to watch will watch. And I will sit here and take that highway. Because I do have the software. I will take that highway and I will show you how, if I was designing it, some of the things that I would do. It's not something that just sneak. Okay, just imagine they have a major bridge on a highway. So if you're going too lean, that bridge, you're going to build similar bridge on the other side. And you think you're going to do it in 1 year? Y'all gave me a break. Watch this, Samson, so then I can go on to my commercial. And Mr. George is here with me already. All right, let's watch this. Then I'll go to the commercial, and then I will come back to by that time I will have Mr. George on with me. Let's watch this. It's a brief one. The president so surprised. Oh, so LIPO in a way. Listen, I will pray for 4 or 5 times. Oh, the president, because he went to inspect. And the guy telling him, oh, there's a LIPO. He said, oh, there's LIPO in a way. They're telling him, or they're finally telling you 75% is done. I'm not showing you all the video because I was so upset when I watched this. On the construction site, you know what they call tailgate? You know what they call tailgate when you go watch football game? Tailgate? Well, the same thing they have in construction site. You put your flatbed, you put a tail down, and you open your plans. But what were they doing over there when they met the president? What is it? 8.5 by 11 sheet. They were showing the president the wind blowing the sheet. What kind of business is the wind blowing the sheet like this here? And the president trying to, how are you expecting to see? Man, if you're not serious, like people will build my highway, but when I'm driving on Ralphie Highway, I will take down 10 miles an hour. Let's watch this. The president goes, oh, so they LIPO in a way. These are people that are supposed to be constructing major highway in Liberia. Let's watch this.
Things like that. Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah.
You hear that? Oh, but the LIPO in a way. Listen again.
Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. LIPO in a way. Yeah.
All right. I just thought I'd show you that. I'll continue to show that. And these are people, the public works minister is right there. He's right there. It's not that he far away. He's right there. And in fact, the president is asking him, oh, so the LIPO in a way, and the minister say yes. How embarrassing. And the minister, he's an engineer as well. How embarrassing. You mean you couldn't identify the conflict with your construction site beforehand so that those things will be dealt with, and you stay 75% of completion, and you're telling me LIPO in a way? I will tell you, take that LIPO and take it to total, my jaw will be done. If my jaw not, look at the damage. Simple as that. Simple as that. Whatever money you're going to get, we'll do. If the job is not done for a certain time, we'll start cutting your money. 75% of the time, you're telling me, say, LIPO in a way. Samson told, I'm not too sure why I'm getting so wicked here this afternoon. It's only on Wednesday. But no, man, people, my man, let me tell you the truth, man. People can make people vet. You know, they can make you vet. I'm serious, they can make people vet. You know, and these people, most of them, you go right now, they got the certificate degree all hanging in their offices. They're educated. They got engineering degree. But because they want to cut corners, that's the only thing I can think about. Because they want to cut corners and take their cut. $2 million project, by the time the contractor get his stuff and to $2 million, maybe you'll be lucky if the contractor will get $1 million. The other $1 million is everybody taking share here and there. We know Liberia. We know these things. I'm not talking in isolation here. We know these things. We know. Even the Chinese company that are going to be building this road, somebody finished taking their cut. Somebody finished taking their cut. And the Chinese, here's the bad thing about it. The Chinese government said, okay, we'll build a road I'm just estimating, for $400 million. We'll build this road. Then the government said, okay, that's fine. So they start taking, the Chinese government borrow the money to the Liberian government, of course. So those who want to take their cut, they take their cut. So the Chinese company that come in, they say, how much we're supposed to pay here? Oh, the construction itself, maybe about $2 million. I mean, $200 million. So okay, we'll give you $150 million. The other $50 million will share the share among themselves. So the Chinese, instead of giving you $200 million project or product, they give you $150 million product. That's what cutting corner would do for us. Sam Sinto LeBron Public, folks. Let me now go on. All right, let's take a commercial, and I will be right back. Sam Sinto LeBron Public Radio.
When you do me, I do you. When you hold me, I hold you. When you touch me, I touch you. When you play me, I play you. Let me see you do. Do them, I course.
The tax season is here again, and one thing you want is you don't want to go to people who will, a lot of the times we see in our community, they will mess your tax up and then they are nowhere to be found. So I mean, my records are there. All of my clients, they have never had any issues. So I'm available, like I said, throughout the year, and this tax season I'm ready to roll. You can contact me. My phone number is 267-265-7903, 267-265-7903. And my address where I do the business is 539 South 4th Street, Darby, PA 19023. 539 South 4th Street, Darby, PA 19023. And like you can see, my office is right here. Everything is set up, the computer, my printer, everything is set up. And since the tax season started, that's all I've been doing. And again, I do a lot for my clients. Like I said, I help them. Even if you have filed your taxes in the past with other people and you have had problem, and then your problem have not been resolved, and the IRS keep writing you, whole lot of letters, you can't understand what these letters are, you can call me and then I will explain to you exactly what to do. If you owe the IRS and you want to make payment plan, I'm available. I can help you set up a payment plan with the IRS to stop bugging you. Another thing I do is, there are other people who want to pay estimated taxes. The IRS write down a lot about estimated taxes, and I can do estimated tax for my client as well. And there are some people who own businesses, small businesses in the borough or in the city, like the city of Philadelphia, the borough of Darby, and then the borough will write down about the borough tax or city tax, and then they don't know where to start from. I help a lot of small businesses as well to do their borough and city taxes. The things that I do for my clients, I do non-profit, I do tax preparation for non-profit. I see in our communities there are a lot of non-profit organizations, our community groups, and they are registered, they operate legally, but a lot of them, they are behind with their taxes because they don't know what to do. So I help a lot of them to file their taxes, and that's exactly what I do for people when it comes to that one.
Hold me, I hold you. Touch me, I touch you. Feel me, I feel you. When you do me, I do you. When you hold me, I hold you. When you touch me, I touch you. When you play me, I...
This is Uncle Musa, the owner of Uncle Musa Grocery in Philadelphia. The first store is Uncle Musa Grocery, Philadelphia, 6523 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Urban Faction, 6519 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Grocery, 804 Gary Road, Upper Darby, Philadelphia. We carry all African products, food, clothing, mostly Liberian food. If you need anything from Liberia, just call Uncle Musa Grocery. You can go to Google. If you say Uncle Musa Grocery, Google will take you ahead to show you where to get us. So whatever you need from Liberia, if you go to any Uncle Musa Grocery, we will make sure you get what you want. And if you want to send rice to Liberia, we will send rice to Liberia and deliver to your family. They don't need to pick it up. And if you decide for them to pick up to our store in Morovia too, we have a store in Cow Factory. You can pick it up there, but mostly we deliver rice to your family member, and we send money to Liberia. All over the world, we send money. So welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery anytime. I'll make sure all my workers and myself will have a very good customer service. You'll be taken care of the way you want it. And we'll have a clothes from Dubai, India, and China. We carry all that. We carry lappers, very good lappers. Quality one from Holland. Whatever you want from Uncle Musa Grocery or Uncle Musa Home Infection,
Yes,
you can get it.
This is Uncle Musa and Grocery Enterprise here. And I mean, it's well equipped with a lot of goods, African goods, anything you want, you know, especially many supplies that we have for our programs in the church community. We've been having a lot of programs, especially community gathering, fundraising program. We get all our goods here, anything we want. And so African goods like cassava leaf, potato grain, those are the things that we use, you know, for our African program here. So we get everything here. And so especially you bring in a lot of supply for our church program, a lot of instruments from Africa, salsa, samba, and even the motor pencils and everything from Africa. We get everything here. Even the lappers and other material that the women in the church get, we get everything from his store here. So his store is well equipped with a lot of goods, you know, it's well full with a lot of material that you want here. Palm butter, you know, a lot of things, rice, you know, fish. We get everything here. And you have a lot of stores. You have about 4 different stores here. You have these stores and the other left store that you see here with clothing and shoes, you know, other materials. You will see the left store and the first store that he has under the tree there. And so you will see a lot of things there, cassava leaf, potato green. So this one is filled with a lot of cassava leaf, potato green. You have one of the stores in Upper Derby. It's filled with a lot of goods, similar thing. So you see deeper from African yam, and plantains, and the same thing you see all around. So that you see.
Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Public Radio, we want to thank all of you that continue to stay with us. If anybody's still here, we say thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you have somewhere to go this afternoon, that's fine. We're here. We're going to do our best. But I was just telling you that, and I'm being joined now by my good friend, Mr. George is here with us, and I'll be showing you Mr. George here very shortly. And so just bear with me here. And so, again, I want to thank all of you that are with us. And let me just show you now. We have Mr. George who is here with us. And where is Samson and Josh? Okay. All right, folks, we're going to do something here, a different one here tonight. Okay. Yeah, yes. The man himself, Mr. Josh, is now with us. Mr. Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure you can hear me?
Yeah, you are loud and clear.
Okay. All right, hold on. Because I'm getting echo. Okay, hold on, folks. Just bear with us. Okay, let me entertain you while I try to take care of the echo. Okay. Okay. Mr. George, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're going to have to take the camera, scoot it to your left a little bit because they're seeing only half of you right now. Scoot it a little bit more to the left.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Okay. Or you screw yourself to the right. I mean, to the right then.
Okay.
Folks, this is live TV. I love it when I do that. Okay. Right there. Right. Oh, my goodness. You got it. You got it. Okay, folks. That is Amos George. Mr. George, thank you very much. You and I are going to go and have a conversation here this afternoon. I'm just talking about before you came. Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Any echo in the background?
Hello, let me see. Yeah, there's a little echo from your side. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I think we're fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening, folks. That is Amos George, who's going to be helping me carry on the program here. Before you came on, I was just showing you some. I was just showing some video of Dr. Weah having going through the mud and what have you, and then also they're deciding now that they're going to put a major highway on Rawafield Highway, and that's what I was discussing because from the past experience, I just don't have trust in them. So that's one of the things. But Mr. Judge, you keep screwing to your left, and that's taking you off center of the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, right there, that will be fine if you can. But if it's too much to stay there, then you just screwed yourself on the other side. That's fine. Okay. So that's the thing I was talking about. The main thing that I thought you and I talk about here tonight is this issue with the opposition. Quite recently, they came out that they have some sticking issue going with them, that they're not able to come up with a conclusion because it seemed like the Alexander Cummings group, they want the opposition to use what they call voter preference or voter whatever they call it, and some of the other members of the opposition are saying no. I think the Constitution in Liberia requires that we go to primary. Have you been following that as well?
Yeah, I listened to Mr. portion of Ben Nayu's speech today.
Okay.
And he made mention of that. And I saw the internet being buzzing today with opposition from the people from ANC and the people from Europe Party. I mean, going after one another.
Okay. And what do you make of it? What do you make of it?
Well, I think what is happening here, people must exercise maturity, discipline. The party leaders must talk to their I don't know whether they are surrogates or what, but the leader need to talk to them to tune this rhetoric down because it's not helping the situation. I saw people posting from the ANC attacking Mr. Uri, and I saw Mr. Costa came out today, and he's going to his political leaders. So the whole issue now is who is in charge? Who are the official spokesperson of the political institution? Because they must have someone to speak on their behalf. But like everybody is out there. Okay? So this will, if it continues, then of course, we better get ready for 2 years for George Weah. Because if they cannot come to a conclusion or even to tone down the rhetoric from the supporters, I find it very difficult. Because what they're doing, this can also drive, if there's independent Liberia, away from them. Yeah, because anything somebody say, once it's not in the interest of that political leader, they go after you. And that can drive the independence away. People must be allowed to express their view. You can disagree with me. It doesn't mean that I hate your political leader, but maybe there are certain things we disagree on. That's all. But they're taking it to a level for it to looking very personal now. You know, today you see the internet, how people are going after one another. So I want to ask the political leaders, if they don't have spokesperson to address the issues, then they should tell their supporters to either tune this thing down. Because at the end of the day, the leader will have to come together because there's no single political party that can win outright election in Liberia. There's no way. You have to find a coalition. So how they want to find this coalition if they are going after one another like this too soon? Eh? They have the sticker issue. I think that the leader must be mature to try to resolve those issues. Yeah. But what they're doing is that they want to bring this issue in public court, in the open public domain, so the public cannot solve this thing here. The leader will have to make the hard choices to solve this issue. Or if not so, I can tell anybody, if they don't come together and hold, then we will get ready for 12 years for George William. That's how I look at it.
But what I also is getting out of this thing here, Mr. George, is that the opposition, the opposition and leaders themselves, it seemed to me that they are not quite ready. As I stated here a few days ago, that these people, I just don't see them holding together. I don't see it unless they decided they want to have a monthly meeting. Because these people, for some reason, it seemed to me that it's just like they're not mature enough to have a thick skin. Little stuff hurt them, and the comment that came from Mr. Ure today, Mr. Ure is in a perfect position to make that comment. He was just trying to say to the people, look, we're still trying to iron out a lot of stuff. And some of the things, and he has the right, because he's part of the coalition. He has the right to publicly disagree. But for these people to go after him on a personal level, I thought that was bad. And I also didn't really agree with Mr. Custer's involvement in this afternoon, this morning when I saw the video, because his video was pretty much not so much insulting, but I think it was something that perhaps should be a little bit above him by now. I mean, below him by now, because Custer has set himself up among the Liberian and especially the Liberian diaspora as somebody who perhaps people can gravitate towards it. The intellectual can gravitate towards it, and I don't think a lot of intellectual will stay around for Custer to throw tantrum and stuff like that. The way he did to this on that video, his response. First thing is, I know Ure is a good friend. Family member to Custer almost, but that does not mean that people will not say bad things. Custer, what does he do? He gets on the radio and talk about Dr. Weir, and call Dr. Weir rogue and stuff like that. So these things are part of the game, part of the politics. It's within us. But for him to come and then start singling out people, I think if they continue like that, then I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Wait, hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. If these people continue to do like that, then this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, Doctor, we are. Oh, yeah, Doctor, we are. Oh. I'm serious, folks, because if they continue to fight among themselves on a very serious note, I don't see how then they'll be able to defeat President Weir and his people, because they're going to have to take the higher ground. And so that's but I've been predicting that these people will not be able to hold. What do you think?
Yeah, and Mr. Toll, you're right, and this is the same thing today I was saying. I listened to part of Costa whatever respond or reaction to the allegation, respond to from the ANC. But this is why we say the inexperience do. Costa of his level now, he should be very careful how he speaks.
Yes.
He should be very careful. But this part, they cannot learn their lesson. Okay? Mr. Ure is your political leader. Is your godfather, whatever he is to you. If he come out and give a press conference, remember that people will take issue with that press conference. And you have not been designated to speak on the party behalf or to respond on his behalf. So in what capacity are you responding? Is it because of the personal connection? And at one point in time, he was saying, if people think they can try, he got the largest microphone in Liberia. hey, Mr. Costa, yes, you have the largest microphone, but you took part in the past election. What was the outcome of that election? So you have to be very careful. Because if you are not careful, you're going to run the intellect away from you. The people who are level-headed, who want to gravitate towards you. And when you respond like that, then it gave the people second thought to say, wait. This gentleman, we're trying to go around, but is he, the way he responds, do he have the temperament? Now all the questions are coming in place. So that's what I'm suggesting to you people.
I watched his video when he was in Minnesota the other day. I mean, dignified. I mean, the young man looked so dignified. I was so proud of him to sit among his peers, Liberians, and everybody what shaking, want to take picture with him and stuff. So when you at that level, and already the churches, people from different churches will continue to pray for you and continue to make reference to you when it comes to poor people's struggle. And then you will take something that is personal. If even Ben Layura is being attacked personally, I think there are ways to go then to reverse yourself back to the loud mouth, as he put it, loud microphone, as he put it. I think that was for me today when I watched that. It didn't impress me at all, and I hope because he's a young man. And when you were young at that, when I was young at that age, to be honest with you, yeah, I can do a lot of things myself. I did a lot of stuff. So I'm not going to fault him right now, but I'm hoping that if he truly want to step on to this next level, like he truly want to do, because immediately after his education, I know he wants to move himself up. So I think at this time, he should try now to learn how to pivot towards those intellectuals that continue to gravitate towards him. So I think, but this video tonight, the video that he made, I'm not ready to play it, right? I'm not going to play it, but I think it's not a video that he will look back on a month from now and say, oh yeah, I think this was one of his bad days, to be honest with you, because you can't in this type of situation to wear your emotion on your sleeve like that. And especially when many Liberians are very grateful to the fact that you are involved in putting forth the struggle of our people. Many of us don't have the abilities. Many of us so we're so scared. Some of us are so scared to go out there. But he is so brave, and he put his life on the line for every Liberian that he's struggling for. And I think the brother this video today, I think he need to somehow put a stop to this and not to engage every negative that comes his way. So anyway, I thought we just talk about another subject matter, and I think this one we're going to spend a lot of time on. It's about Zorizo being rejected. And I first of all, let me ask your opinion on that, and then we can go from there, because I think Zorizo being rejected, it was something that I think Zorizo himself brought upon himself, to be honest with you. I would say so. So let me hear your view. Zorizo being rejected. Let me hear your view, sir.
Zorizo rejection to send a clear message to every Liberian. This is the same thing we're talking about. Zorizo took upon himself to go on the internet to threaten fellow Liberians. I mean, he made a whole lot of regular statements. And these statements he made, this is why they're coming to hunt me. And this is why we are saying, in this digital age, be very careful how you speak, because Liberia is changing. Okay, Zorizo, because when he went to the Senate, he swear, and I heard one of the senators saying he lied on an oath. When they asked him, "Have you ever made any statement threaten any Liberian that if they come after your property, you'll kill them. He said no. But a video there to prove that. And so secondly, this is the message now for those young Liberians who have interest in politics. They should be very careful what they say. And moreover, when Zolizo went to testify, he did not show no remotes. Even the senators were trying to push him to see whether he could show some remotes. But the young man refused. He was very arrogant, stubborn, defending what he's seeing. So, I mean, it left the Senate with no alternative to say no. Even one of the senators suggested that he must see a psychiatrist because the same part they talk about temperament, that they cannot trust him because he's going to be controlling men with arms. So if he had a temperament, what will happen if in a situation? So these are the reasons sometimes young people today must be very careful of what they say and what to do. And secondly, now the Senate now is setting a high bar because Zolizo is not only a person today. Tomorrow, the opposition may get to power. And this thing will be used. So every Liberian now must be very careful how to talk, what to do, because there will all be photos somewhere to bring back to say, hey, you said this. Can you remember why he said this? And Zolizo now, and the only point here now I can tell you, I don't know whether the president will use his executive power to allow Zolizo to be acting. And if you do that, will the Senate declare him a non-governmental material? Will the Senate have the span to say, no, Mr. President, this man cannot function in the area, moving? So we have to wait and see. But the mean point of the matter, Zolizo was responsible for his own downfall because of his utterances that he had made about President Weah to defend President Weah. The utterances he made by threatening other Liberian lives. This is what led to Zolizo now today. He's not Deputy Minister for Operations for Defense. Young man, he's educated. But that was the handicap he had because of his own doing.
I see. I also my own thing on Zolizo downfall, like you correctly stated, Mr. George. I think it was also he brought it on himself. But the interesting thing, my take on this, my own take on this, the interesting thing that I have to say on Zolizo issue, Mr. George, is this. Even though Zolizo have already been rejected, however, I truly believe that the president or somebody in the Senate will perhaps file a motion for reconsideration. So if that's the case, I think this is a lesson well learned. And because Zolizo is highly qualified, there's no question asked. This young man, highly qualified. However, when you make especially somebody who I believe he's a Iraq war veteran or some other Iraq or Afghanistan war veteran or something like that. But if you involve yourself in these kinds of stuff, it doesn't bode well. And there are still some Liberians here, they will die hard sedition. I call them turning sedition. You can't just because of your love for the party or because of your love for the president. The president is an individual. The presidency is an institution. I mean, it's there for everybody or anybody who's able to can do it. But for you to pledge your loyalty to an individual in that way, and as a result of that, you come out and make public utterance. You say things that perhaps are not quite suitable as an individual, as a human being. Okay, especially Liberian coming from a war. So I think the young people, especially in the diaspora, that continue to make the insinuate comments and stuff like that. These comments that tend to divide. These comments that tend to put people down, condescending to other Liberians and what have you. I think this is this is a teachable moment for all of us.
Yeah,
because I'm not looking for no position, but all of us. And the sad thing is, Zolizo, as I stated, highly qualified. He's educated, highly qualified. He's a Liberian, and he's able to do it. I think the rejection from the senator point of view is that if you're going to be in command of certain people, meaning Liberians, and those that are authorized to carry ammunition and guns. And you're going to come and make a statement like that in public. I think Zorizo, first of all, he needs to get back on his podcast and apologize to all Liberians. Then second, I think somebody from the Senate or the president need to resubmit. And then once that happens, I think people like Communist Wizard, who himself is also a firebrand. I mean, they've Communist Wizard doesn't have. He's not a, when it comes to Liberian politics and all of that. He's not a clean wizard either. He's not a church choir. Let's put it that way, choir boy. Let's put it that way. He's been in the trenches himself, so he knows how it is when you're in the trenches. If you're not able to control yourself, you come up with statements like Zorizo. So I think they're quite aware of it. So I think if Zorizo was to come back and truly apologize, and after that, I think this young man, I'm hoping that he will be accepted, because I don't think just looking at him, Zorizo most likely, I don't think he would just go because of demonstration, other people to start shooting and things like that. I just don't see it. But of course, other people want to be tough by talking big mouth and what have you. But then again, you never know. We're coming from war. People have done a lot of things. People did stuff that you didn't believe it was going to happen. So these are kinds of stuff people are very concerned with.
Yeah, but Mr. To, let me just add to it. Zorizo would be in law enforcement, supposed to be in the military or whatever, law enforcement. And now you from his utterances, I will say not yet. Even if people breaking my property, that doesn't give me the right to go and start chopping it up. So Zorizo should know better. He can't say because he suffered for his things, and when people start destroying, he will kill somebody. No, you cannot say that, especially when you are in law enforcement. You cannot say those things. Now, the issue of Zorizo going back to go back to the podcast, to say to the Liberian people openly, look, my people, I was mad, and I'm sorry for what I said. Express remorse. But Zorizo has the temperament not to do anything. Even at his confirmation hearing, if Zorizo would have talked to those people and said, oh, my people, first thing Zorizo should have done to apologize immediately to the Liberian people. Look, I have said something, but don't judge me like that. I did it out of anger. That alone will soften the people. But Zorizo did not take responsibility for anything that he has said. He was defined. And that makes it harder for anybody to advocate on his behalf. I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. But will he be able to go back to retract some of those words that he has said? And Judges did not do his homework, Mr. Toll, because all the time he went to the library, he was going to some of these senators and meet with them one-on-one to tell them his position. But I bet they didn't do it. Also, they were right on the once person will nominate you, you're going to go through the Senate. And this is why he better surprise for him. Look, he's a young man. I would not say that, oh, I have not done something bad or said something. But the thing is, when you realize your mistakes, go to the public and say, look, my people, I'm sorry. Let me retract some of the things I said. I said it, uncle. I'm not the kind of character that you people looking at me to be. So he did not even carry any witness in a hearing. People that he said he taught, people that he had worked with, to say, look, these are some of my character witnesses. Look at these people asking about me. So I don't know who advised these people to just go stepping into the hall when you know you have said some things. So look, what I pray that could happen, I think President Weah should send Zorizo somewhere else for now. Let him find somewhere, let Zorizo go work somewhere and let this thing ease up. Because if he brings Zorizo back again, will Zorizo be willing to apologize to the Liberian people? Or will he be defined? So I don't know. So this is the issue we are. So Zorizo, But the caveat is to all young people. Be careful what you say nowadays. Liberia is changing. It's not a Liberia yesterday, especially in the digital age. Let us be very careful how we address issues. We should not allow our emotion to take over us, because that's one of the biggest problems we're having now. We let our emotion to control us. We say things. I don't know, it's to please other people, but everything you say, you are accountable for it. And tomorrow, when you start thinking about people, say, "But what were you thinking? Why you say these things?" So, just a close on the day. Let Mr. Zodiso maybe talk to the president. Let him find somewhere for him to go and leave this issue and just go. Let it be a lesson for him. That's my take on that.
Okay, folks, that's the voice of Mr. George, Amos George, who is a part of LPR. He's an analyst here. And tonight we just tried to try to do some more testing process here. As you can see, we're going from section to section. But before, Mr. George, before we go, one other thing. Let's go on to the ruling party itself. Let's do the ruling party here and see. Quite recently, the ruling party they were supposed to have their retreat, and in the process, they decided to print T-shirt. But on the T-shirt, they only have the standard bearer and not the vice standard bearer pictures on that. And I thought, and the vice president from her previous interview where she lay out some instances of bad treatment from the folks at CDC, I thought the fact that her picture was not on there, I didn't think it went well. And then Cyril Allen also made it clear to CDC that we're not weak, he said. And after that, the NPP also came out and told the seditians or CDC or anybody else, say, where we have our incumbent senator, don't venture in there. What do you make of those kinds of statements? You think these people will also show some way that they will be able to work together, or you think they're going to fall apart?
They divide among CDC and other parties that got together to win the elections. The gap is getting wild because there are two things here. Okay, CDC as a party decided to have a retreat, and NPP still holds her identity. So one could say, okay, send these people out, and I'll say we are not within. We are not one party. Okay, the retreat is clear for CDC. They didn't make that distinction. So because I saw the chairman of the NPP along with Moba Molu holding press conferences, they didn't make that distinction. And if they didn't make it, then why the vice president picture is on the T-shirt? Then that shows you there is some divide going on. And the chairman of NPP and the secretary general, they are not getting along with the VP, because Chief Dr. Cyril Allen even made mention of that the secretary general, one Peter, doesn't respect the vice president. I mean, the vice president. So you can see there's real internal problem within the NPP. But the problem there is the chairman and the secretary general don't have the weight. They don't have the resources to pull any crowd. Cyril Allen, the vice president, and other officials who got the resources will definitely take the party. So if anything, what will happen, maybe the chairman of the party might go to CDC and the secretary general might go. But the NPP will remain standing because you got Chief Cyril Allen or the ex-general Rowan Duo and the vice president and other top brass of the NPP stay in the corner. But the message here is, if the CDC is going down the road, will they be able to win the next election? Because
but Mr. George, that's a good question. But look at the opposition themselves. Look how much they're biting each other right now. I mean, so this whole thing I think it's open. It's if they continue like this, I think it's going to be wide open. Don't you think so?
It is. But that's why I said the opposition will have to come together to win election in Liberia. Because there's no one political party can outrightly win election. And let me just throw in something. Prince Johnson said something today at a body scene rivalry that President we have nominated the superintendent for his county, and the two senators were not consulted. And in the hearing, Prince Johnson walked away and said that was being disrespectful to the two senators from Nima County. Moreover, for him, that he was the cause of President we are winning Nima County. He said 2005 and 2011, he did not win Nima County. Even with this going election, he said he worked very hard, and now today George Weah is disrespecting him. So you can see now it's not just Joel Howard Taylor won, but Prince Johnson now is getting in the game. So the question here now, how will they set up that? Because once Prince Johnson speaks, the people of Nima County will feel angry, alienated, because that means that you're not respecting the political leader, the godfather. So CDC now is playing a dangerous game. Equally so the opposition doing the same thing. But as I said, we have 3 more years to go. So I think if they don't put the act together, we're going to see another heck of a trouble in Liberia 2023. Because the political parties, CDC is pushing away the people that help us to bring her to power. Because George Weah could not win Bon County. He could not win Nima County. Lofa was already rich. Mike Givey. It was when he brought Prince Johnson and Joel Howard on board that he already win this country. So why they acting like to say they got 50% of the vote? No, they got about 30-something% of the vote. They had to bring other political parties to put them over the finish line. Now you're trying to sideline it, you're trying to ostracize the people. Then what are you doing? Because the 3 senators from NPP, they have made it clear that CDC should not even venture in those areas, which is Kepamos, Bapolu, and Bomi County. And Allen said that was speculated in the document, in the agreement, where the NPP have a senatorial candidate, CDC should not put anybody up there. So the whole thing now is getting muddy, but it has to become muddy before it settled. So we just have to wait and see that following it and see what it looks like. But strongly, if CDC continue down the road, 2022 will be 500 reach. And if the opposition continue, it will be the same thing for them. So maybe if there's an independent candidate might take advantage of the situation.
Okay, well, folks, again, you're listening. We will soon be opening the line here for folks to make your call and make your contribution as well. But let's take one other issue here about the gasoline situation in Liberia. Is now getting under control. But recently, the chamber, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, through the efforts of Yeka Koluba, Honorable Yeka Koluba, the Speaker is now getting ready to invite people to pro into rice prices going up. What do you know about that?
Yes, Honorable Yeka Koluba is supposed to have a press conference either Friday or Saturday. And he's saying that the rice price is going up by 50 cents. And his argument is that the government lowered tariffs on rice. So if the government did remove the tariff, why then there's a price increase again? And he's saying that he got documents to prove that there are people who are behind the increase of the rice to benefit from it. So that's another one we got to watch out for. And you know, Yeka is coming up very hard. He said he's going to speak and he's going to call names. And he has record to show that those are the people who are behind the increase of rice. That's why government had taken the tariff of the rice. But the issue here is calling the cabinet minister, what really does it do for the Liberian people? The people come, some of them come with one sheet and say they're doing graft. And they say, okay, we are not ready to come back. The issue here is rice is the staple food of Liberia. Why the government cannot make the open the market to everybody? Why they cannot take the monopoly from the rice? Why to get Lebanese or Indian boys the monopoly? Why not make this thing free? And you want to build a society, you want to build a market, then it is a free, make it a free enterprise or a market. Because when the importers compete, the consumer will benefit. But when you got one or two person who is bringing this commodity in, the staple for Liberia, they control the price, they control the market. So move this monopoly, make it open to everybody. All the Ministry of Commerce is supposed to do, this is the standard right you're supposed to bring into the country. That's all they need to do. And let everybody compete. Because when people compete, then of course the consumer will benefit. But when two person got monopoly over this thing, it doesn't work.
It's also seemed to me that I'm not too sure what is happening in Liberia, to be honest with you, because Liberians not seem to be in control of the economy right now, and I'm not too sure why it's that. I mean, because in construction, most of the construction projects are being awarded to foreigners. In design of these roads and buildings and stuff, they've been awarded to foreigners. And I spoke with one engineer today who used to be, I'm not going to say what, but anyway, I spoke with him today, and then he was telling me about this proposed project, the highway, Rawsfield Highway, that is now scheduled to be turned to a 4-lane highway. And I asked him, are you guys involved? He said, no. I said, was there any Liberian engineers involved? He said, no. I said, but he said the contractor, he called the company name. I just forgot what it was now. But he called the company name, and so, but it is a Lebanese-owned company. And then I said, what's about the design? He called another company name, which is a company I believe has their managers, some from South Africa and some are from Ghana. So the Ghanaians are doing the survey, and the group from South Africa will be doing the design. Now, I'm not too sure if the contractor, if the construction is going to follow that. But but the main point that I'm going to make here before I open the line is that it seemed to me, Dr. Weah, after having had that statement that Liberian will not be spectator in their own home, it seemed to me that this is exactly the opposite end of that Liberians are not being awarded these contracts. I'm not too sure whether they're afraid to do so, that Liberians do not have the capacity to finish your contracts. And so maybe there might be some legitimate reason, but for Liberians to continue to beg their government for a certain project. But then also, I mean, maybe Liberians been awarded projects before, they can't finish a project after they take the money to leave. I've heard a story where Liberian contractor left from here, went home, having gotten a huge amount of money, and left the contract undone, construction project undone, and came back to America with the money. So maybe these are some of the things. What do you think before I open the line?
Yeah, Mr. To all what you have just said, it is true. But here's the issue here. You cannot take one Liberian to judge every Liberian. And if you say you want to stimulate the economy and the locals are not involved, how do you stimulate the economy when the locals are not involved? Because if you award contract to local Liberians, the money will stay in the country. They will buy from local vendors. But the issue is we don't see the bid. Now, this Rafi Highway, where's the bid? Where's the bid? Many Liberian contractor has been complaining that they have been left out. Okay, and look what happened. The money, because let me tell you, Mr. Togo, because they kick back. Because if you go to the Ministry of Public Works, you say, I want this 10-mile road. I want this contract. The first thing I'm going to ask you, what you got? The Lebanese man will come in there. The Lebanese man will come in there and say, hey, my man, I give you this. Then the man will say, my man, okay. And at 1.5, make it 1.8. He said, no problem. But with the Liberian will say, no, I ain't doing it. So this is where we are now. Are you seeing there's no software engineer in Liberia? You cannot find no Liberian software engineer. You got to go take people from Ghana. I'm not against Ghanaian. I'm not against people from other countries. But we said that preference must be given to Liberian first. If the Liberian cannot do that, then you can bring somebody in there. But you can't say that there's nobody that has graduated from the engineering school that has a degree in surveying. You cannot say that. Are you seeing that there's no engineer, no construction engineer in Liberia? You can set up and supervise a project in Liberia. Right? Now, this project that you're talking about, who is the coordinator? Who is the field supervisor? What is the experience these people have? Will they be able to inspect the road to make sure the roads are up to standard? All the question is left unanswered. Now, you say you've been trying to get the Minister of Public Works to come so you can ask him some technical questions. He's shying away from you. It's like the contracts are done under the clouds of darkness. You don't see the bid. All you hear, they say this project going on. But where are the bidders? You don't see them. Then you complain that the economy is not working. But how the economy work when you're not getting local contractors, local Liberians, money that they will use to infuse into the economy? These are the problems we continue to face. You go to the bank, there's a problem. But the Liberian can go to the bank and get the money. Because why? You tell the president, look, Mr. President, hey, I will get this one. Maybe 10%, 5%, depending on the loan I can give you, don't worry, take care of. Because they know the Liberian man maybe will make too much noise, or will say, no, I ain't doing it. Or go come back. Because once you cannot give the brown envelope, then they come to drag you around. They say, go come back. Go come back. Oh, we can't. They say, oh, there's an other thing from the mansion that they come down and go to these people. These are things that is fundamentally wrong in the country. And this was some of the things President Williams spoke against. Even his first speech, he said that, even the second one, Liberia will not be spectators. But if Liberia cannot be spectators, where are the local contracts you are giving to them? They give it to them, they can't pay them. And these are some of the problems. Because the Lebanese board will go borrow money to pre-finance many projects. What are the projects are up to stand up? They don't care. And the man who said now we're supposed to go and inspect the project, he can't again envelope. He said, my man, forget it. I will okay the paper. The project is okay. But with the Liberian man, they may have some issues. I'm not saying that every Liberian are good contractor. No. Every society you find some bad contractors. But you cannot tell me that there's no competent Liberians right now in Liberia that can do some of the job. But why they are not getting the question go back to the government and to the president, Mr. President, why Liberians are not getting this lucrative contract? You're giving Ghanaian to come to do that work. You know how much people charging? If that contract was even Liberian partner with Ghanaians, it means that they will still get something on it.
Not only that, I don't mean to interrupt, but one of the benefit of having Liberians doing the work and having the contract, I call it capacity building, because if these people are getting the contract and they're working, they will employ Liberians, and the money is then going to be circulating within the borders of Liberia. One thing, and then the second thing is, if the Ghanaians or Nigerians or any other foreigners, foreigners coming into Liberia, when you pay them, they take that money and take it to their home and build houses in their neighborhood back home. They're not going to build houses in Liberia. And you expect the situation, the economy. I don't know why they can't see those things. But anyway, Mr. Joyce, let me go ahead and open the line, folks. We're going to be opening the line here. And then if you care, give us a call here. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I'm here this evening with Mr. Amos Joyce, who is all the way from Atlanta, joining us here this evening, giving us some wonderful, wonderful information. That's the what you might call the call in numbers right there. In the meantime, let me take one or two musical break here. Mr. George, can you hear the music?
Yeah. I can hear loud and clear.
Okay, Mr. Joyce, I think I know it's kind of late over there in the Atlanta area as well, so I know you got busy day tomorrow, and but again, we want to thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll do it again come Friday evening, and hopefully the other thing we didn't touch on here, which was the young journalist that died. And I think we're probably just going to have to wait until, because I think the government agreed for some sort of an investigation or something, and like that, I thought maybe we just wait until they come out with a result and then we can go into that. What do you think?
Yeah, let us wait for the autopsy report. But I don't. The first minister told we should not be talking. We should not be here by now. This thing should have been handled long since by the government. Because when the man raised the issue when he was doing the post, I think the director that was name mentioned, Mr. Tropon, should have just instituted an investigation and say, okay, look, I see your complaint. Let me call my men and do an investigation. And maybe he would have done an investigation and find out maybe whether he was manhandled or what's in, and give a report out there, make a press, come and have a press conference, clear the air. Then will I be talking this? And this is why government officials must be very careful in what to do. Because especially with the person, we are their government, they have a record, not good trial record when it comes to saying the truth. So we can go on to get so many instances. So when one of your government official name is mentioned, that official will come up very swiftly to say, hey, that's what happened. But if it's so, I was in there, but I'm institutionally investigating to make sure that my officer name clear and our office name clear in the government. But it did not happen. Now look at where we are. The international community today, I saw a press release from the United States Embassy expressing they regret what they did for such young men. So you can see to the point they have reached now. Now government said they will offer money to do the autopsy. But if this thing was addressed earlier, then of course we'll not be here today talking about this. Now, and when this thing happened, it hung a dark cloud over Liberia. And also, so as I said, let's just wait and see whether the autopsy will be performed. But then here is the problem. Even if the autopsy come up to say this young man did not die from that beating, but the perception of the Liberian people, they have already drew up a conclusion. So even though if that authorities cannot say no, the man did not die from that beating, there are people in many quarters who still believe that the government is covering up. So these are the things. So when these things happen, when government names mentioned, official names are mentioned, it's good early to come and address this thing quicker. Then later now they start being quarterback. And this is where we are now. Now they are on the defensive again now. So let's just wait and see. Our deeper sympathy go to the family. I mean, losing your young child or husband at this time is not something easy for anybody to go through. But what can we do? We just have to wait now. Even if the autopsy report comes, if they say the man died from natural death, there are people who will not believe it. If they say that he died from something surrounding the beating, that will be another heck of a loss in Liberia again. So there's no win-win for anybody in the situation. What I can urge government to do is always to be proactive, you know, because the longer this thing drag, it gave you part of it to explain its harm. Even people who want to defend the government sometimes find it difficult to defend the government because of some of the action they do. So that's my take. I just want to tell everybody, let us take courage and wait for this autopsy report to come, and let's see where it will point to.
Okay. Okay, we want to thank you, Mr. George, Amos George, all the way from Atlanta, joining us this evening once again. And he will be with us here for a very long time. We hope the partnership that we're trying to forge here will produce some real good fruit here, because not only is he on up to speed, but he's just like me, a political junkie. And I don't see any other Liberian who is not a political junkie. I think every one of us. Oh, before you go, let me just tell you a fun here. So, day before yesterday, I called Zwadru, which is Granada County. I called Zwadru, and there was a gentleman that I'm trying to reach. And when I call, he's a lawyer over there in Zwadru, working for the court. And when I call, I could hear in the background a real heated argument about Liberia, how to move the country forward. It was just like, you know, how when you go to a Liberian gathering here, party and thing, everybody.
Yeah.
So I said, what's going on? He said, oh, Mr. Toll, we're just going, we're going at it right now. I said, but that's the same thing we do here as well. So, I just tell that. But thank you very much, Mr. George. And I know you have a busy schedule ahead of you tomorrow. But please let's continue to do this here. Eventually, it's gonna catch up. We're gonna find other means, other way to spike up this program so that people will tune in more and more. But I want to thank you very much again this evening for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And thank you to the management of LIBERIA. And I know Mr. So is falling out tonight. Good night, Mr. So. Mr. So.
Yes. He's another conservative that I was dealing with earlier, because these conservatives, folks, people who conservative want, they can't make it with liberal. And so as a liberal, when you have a broad view on everything, your perspective is broad. Whereas the conservative, they always have a narrow mind. People, they don't want people to succeed. They will block you. And then the way they're blocking you, they consider it to be constitutionalist, according to the Constitution, according to the rule. No. We have to interpret these rules because they were written by people. But most conservatives, they don't do that, and that's why Mr. So is a conservative. So anyway, that's why when you see when you people go on his show, if you're not ready, forget it. He's not going to cut you slack. You go on his show and say something that is not true, he will boom right away, because they're conservative. They don't let you flourish. Let's put it that way. So, but anyway, I want to thank you very much, Mr. Judge. Thank you. That's the fun my little brother and I will always having. So, but thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, folks, Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again. I've been listening. We're gonna go ahead and call it quit here tonight on this Wednesday afternoon, and we will come back again Friday. But please tune in tomorrow for Mr. Social, where more of Liberian issues will be discussed. And I want to thank all of you that tune in. I say thank you very much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. Friday, though, don't forget Friday. We will do this, but then after Mr. George leave, then I will jump into music. It's going to be my part of the Friday production now. We'll continue to play music. So, folks, if you like a particular music and you want to send it to me so that we can play it for your entertainment. You can just go on to my page Towachiaro, and let me put it up here right now. I think. Well, it's already up there, isn't it? Okay, let's just put it on there. Okay. Okay, that's the folks. That's the Facebook name, Towachiaro. Just as it is right there, and you can go in there and go into the messenger and dump the music you want on. Just put your name. If your first name, that's good enough. Second name, that is an option, and then we'll try to compile those music if we can, and try to play them for you as well, so that you will be able to shake your head and dance with us as we continue to have fun here on LIBERIA Public Radio. Thank you very much on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon. We say thank you, thank you. Let's have fun together. Folks, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio.
Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikolo mwa yepoza ne kribu ya moreu lokolo toliye bolu suku suku ogere yo omo ya lokolo kete swelo iti doro
T'as des tomates et t'as des jeunes. Mais le conjuna, le conjuna, le condena, le conjuna, le mon puissant juna, le mon de juna, le conseil, on nous doit faire meilleur, on nous doit faire meilleur. And it's in B. Hey,
kare matibi enana monyo kabora kanama ye kare matibi enana sono sere kanama pare kwekuna inana pare wagi kanama baye jibo basogo zakati ko pare monyo basogo lokrubi basogo zakati ko pare monyo basogo tumo wana pare